It is the 1st of January 2021, and I'm very tempted to wish you all a very happy and a prosperous new year. However, as you are all aware, we are still very much in the throes of COVID. And I think it's also quite realistic for us to consider that we probably will be living with COVID for the majority of this year. So I'm going to continue with that more somber note at the start of 2021, because there's another threat. I use the word threat quite deliberately to not only our own existence and well-being, but certainly that of our most beautiful planet. We have been warned about the consequences of global warming for probably at least 30 years, and that threat is getting ever closer. Unfortunately, with COVID, that message has got diluted some considerable amount. But I think it's worth just pointing out again that that threat is not going to go away, irrespective of COVID. And the reason I'm picking up on the threat to our planet and the whole debate around global warming is because this blog and my profession is very much aligned with the fashion industry, with clothing, and looking attractive, making ourselves feel good with the clothes that we wear. Now, the reason for that is that clothing in the fashion industry is probably one of the worst culprits in terms of the pollution inflicted on our planet. The whole production process, from the sourcing of the raw material all the way through to when it hits our shops, all contribute enormously to the impact on the environment. Then there is, of course, the socio-economic impact to consider. The whole production process of fashion, of clothing, has enormous impact and consequences to those people that produce the clothes that we wear. And I would suggest that very few of us are really aware of the journey that any item that we wear has to travel before we eventually get to the purchasing process. So the blog this month is very much there to highlight and invite you to consider our contribution, our individual contribution through the clothes that we buy and the impact our clothes and our buying decisions have on our environment. I'm going to continue with this theme in February to say a lot more about the slow fashion. Now, that is very much an oxymoron. Slow fashion? And yes, indeed, there is a movement, the slow movement, that has certainly made inroads in terms of the fashion industry. But I'm going to say more about that in the February blog. For this month, I just want you to pause at the start of 2021 and just consider that every single one of us, our decisions, our buying decisions in terms of clothes, the contribution that it makes to the environmental impact and pollution. So please head over to the blog and read some more about a very serious topic, namely the pollution of the clothing decisions that we make and the impact it has on our environment.